This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some good news. Finally, a deal has been made, according to Chuck Schumer, to lower the prescription drug prices, which is supposed to be the last obstacle before passing that $1.75 trillion package. I'll play a video clip from Chuck Schumer explaining more. I'll also play a video clip from President Biden asked point blank about Joe Manchin, and he says that Joe Manchin is on board. You don't want to miss that footage. Also, I'll play another video clip from Joe Manchin in the hallway explaining on where he stands, how he did not lie about anything. Also, we'll go over some other stimulus articles right here. Stimulus update. You may have 2 more checks coming this year. Here's when they'll arrive. Also, this one right here. Stimulus checks are coming in 2022 for one group that still do COVID relief. And the IRS has announced that more jobless benefit checks are going out that were due for tax refunds of around $1,189. It'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. Let's start off with the stimulus news first. So, stimulus update. You may have 2 more checks coming this year. Here's when they'll arrive. So, the 2 last checks for the child tax credit are going to be on November 15th and December 15th. And that's going to be half of your child tax credit payments. You're going to get the other $1,500 or $1,800 in January when you file the rest of your taxes, for any parents out there who want to get the rest of the child tax credit. Also, let's go over this article. Stimulus checks are coming in 2022 for one group that still do COVID relief. So what it's saying here is that another group eligible for stimulus payments might surprise you. Babies born in 2021. The newest Americans qualify for payments up to $1,400 from the third and probably final round of federal stimulus checks that millions of people received in March. So basically, if you had a baby that was born in 2021, you are eligible to get a $1,400 stimulus check for that baby, but you have to file your taxes in January of 2022. When it comes to a fourth stimulus check, the petition for the $2,000 every month to every American, it's currently at 2,946,000 signatures so far, inching up to 3 million, and still we haven't heard that this is in any package or endorsed by any politicians as of late. Also, the IRS is giving out more refunds. So this article right here, it's November, and IRS is issuing more refunds related to jobless benefits of around $1,189. So basically what it's saying here is that, all right, so on Monday, the Internal Revenue Service said it recently sent roughly 430,000 refunds to taxpayers who paid taxes on unemployment compensation that ended up being excluded from income for the tax year of 2020 after a key but limited change in the federal income tax rules. So the refunds was about $510 million, and it is averaging around $1,189 each. So there's nothing that you had to do about this. It was the IRS's mistake that they were supposed to pay back a long time ago. Haven't paid it back yet. They're really backed up, but hopefully this ties the knot and everyone gets their money that they're owed for that. Next, let's talk about the big deal. What's going on here? So Pelosi saying bill issues could be resolved by the end of the day. She said this yesterday, basically saying, I'm not announcing a vote, but I did say that this could be resolved by the end of the day. Basically talking about other issues, and I guess in other language, just basically dragging things out a lot longer than they need to be. So one good piece of news here is that Schumer announces deal to lower prescription drug prices. Another article right here, Democrats reach a breakthrough deal on drug prices as spending bill nears the finish line. So supposedly we were told that this is the last item before passing the $1.75 trillion package. I'll give you some other more updates on that in a moment. But what it says here on this deal right here, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said Tuesday that Democrats reached an agreement on lowering prescription drug prices. Schumer added that the plan will grant the government power to redesign the Medicare drug benefit so it limits out-of-pocket costs for seniors at $2,000 per year. Let me know down in the comments below if you are a senior, if you are on Medicare, how much are you paying for drugs per year? Is it more than $2,000? Will limiting it to $2,000 help you out? Should it be lower? Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, Kirsten Sinema, who is the Arizona Democrat and key vote in the Senate, praised the compromise in a statement later Tuesday afternoon. Here's Chuck Schumer talking more about this deal.
And now I have an important announcement on progress for the President's agenda. I'm pleased to announce that an agreement has been reached to lower prescription drug prices for seniors and families in the Build Back Better legislation. Fixing prescription drug pricing has consistently been a top issue for Americans year after year, including the vast majority of both Democrats and Republicans who want to see a change because they simply cannot afford their medications. We've heard this from people across the country who have serious illnesses and can't afford their medicine. What a painstaking position to be in. It's horrible. Today we've taken a massive step forward in helping alleviate that problem. By empowering Medicare to directly negotiate prices in Part B and Part D, this deal will directly reduce out-of-pocket drug spending for millions of patients every time they visit the pharmacy or doctor. It will cap out-of-pocket spending at $2,000 per year, ending the days where a life-changing diagnosis could mean thousands upon thousands of dollars in new expenses. And it will reform the entire industry to stop price gouging. And change both drug company and health insurer incentives to make sure our country's drug pricing system benefits patients, not corporations. I want to thank many of my colleagues who worked on this. Senator Klobuchar, who was here, Senators Wyden, Murphy, Cortez Masto, Bennett, and Kelly. Senators Shaheen, Hassan, and Smith for the leadership on insulin. The price from insulin will go down from $600 an injection or a dose to $35, which is where it should always have been if we would have had proper laws in place. And Senator Sinema has told me she supports this agreement, so I think we're there. It's not everything we all wanted. Many of us would have wanted to go much further, but it's a big step in helping the American people deal with the price of drugs. And finally, Senator Wyden has done years of work on this issue and helped develop many of the proposals in this package.
So let me know down in the comments below, will this help you out if you are on Medicare and you have prescription drug prices? Is this going to help you out? Should it be lower? Is it a good level? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. What about Joe Manchin? So Manchin didn't sign off on framework, no rush to get a deal done. So basically Joe Manchin said, no, he didn't do anything wrong. He's been genuine. The White House knew exactly where he stands. Here's a video clip of Joe Manchin being asked these questions in the hallway.
2 minutes.
Senator, are you? Yep. Okay. Sorry. Just want to make sure you guys are good.
He's so tall.
Everybody
There's
good?
the wrong person to have in front.
I know.
That's why you're always in front.
That's right.
Senator, the White House, when the White House released this framework, the idea was that it was all negotiated. Now it seems like you still have other issues with it.
No, the
Are
White
you
House knew
confident in
exactly.
this framework?
The White House knew exactly where I stood. There was a couple of concerns that we had to work through. And to say that you automatically signed off on things, I've been here long enough to know that when you say you signed off on things, you ought to keep your word. And I'm not going to be a liar or make anyone else a liar. So that's why I hadn't, because there was a few things that needed to be more, I think, more directly worked on, and I had said that, and we've been working on it. What they should do is look at the things we all agree on. My goodness, we're agreeing on child care, we're agreeing on pre-K, we're agreeing on home care, we're agreeing on so many things that are really good. And we're working on climate, very progressive, I think, in a good way, and we'll get something done, I believe. But, to hold the bill hostage is what I was saying. I just waited till the President's plane landed because he asked that he would like to have something that everyone saw how important that was, and allow him to go there and not do anything, because I worked clear through the week, as you know, the weekend, went up to the house and visited with him and all that, and thought we had some pretty good understanding on things, and we'll get this back on track. So let's see what they do. They need to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill. That shows good faith.
Is a CBO score the other big piece that you're looking for? That's what a lot of people took out of your press conference yesterday. Is a CBO score the other big thing that you're looking for?
CBO is a big score, absolutely. The inflation is a big thing, and I've talked about that so many times. Inflation,
how would someone satisfy your concerns on that, though? What data,
bottom
what
line
would
is,
satisfy
here's
you
what we're
on
doing.
that?
We're basing everything on the 10-year expenditure, right? So revenue is going to be for 10 years. We'll look at the expenses and see if everything runs out 10 years. It doesn't. So basically, things that would run out 10 years makes that a much more expensive piece of legislation than what we're saying it is right now. Maybe they're thinking that it'll just expire and nothing will be done or extended. I don't know. We're working through all those things.
How committed are
One
you?
second, I will. But the people need to know exactly. If everything that we're talking about ran out the full 10 years, as we said we paid for in 10 years, it's a lot more than that, so I'll make sure.
How committed are you to seeing this go into law? Or are you suggesting they should abandon this effort altogether?
No. What I've always said with this, we're going to get something done. But I still believe in my heart of hearts, with the unknown that we have right now, that we should have waited. We're not going to wait. That ship has sailed. I understand that. So let's sit down and work in good faith, and I've been doing that.
What should be dropped? What should be dropped from this bill?
Two questions for you. Number one, so just to be clear here, did you sign off on the framework on Friday prior to the president announcing
No.
it? You hadn't signed off. And then the second
No,
question.
because then that would be, this is ingenuine. I wouldn't do that.
And then the second question is, what do you say to Democrats who say you threw the president a curveball while
No,
he was
not at
overseas
all.
on the world stage?
Not at all. Not at all. I threw basically, it's time to do something. The president's over there. He went there. He asked for something before he left, and everyone ignored it. I didn't ignore it, and I thought it was something that could have been done. It was a very easy ask. Just vote for the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It has a tremendous amount of clean energy in it. Would have helped an awful lot, and it does an awful lot, more than we've ever done before. They couldn't even do that because they were saying it's not the perfect. Is going to be the enemy of the good if we don't sit down and be rational about what we're doing.
Do you want the Medicare expansion out of this? Do you want Medicare expansion out of this?
I'm not for any expansions that basically, that has a trust fund that is insolvent.
You want that out?
Well, my concern is, let's get it solved.
What's your objection to paid leave, Senator?
Thank you, Senator.
So do you think Joe Manchin has been honest? Has he been upfront with what he says, where he stands? He has been upfront of where he stands, that he stands against it. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. What do you think about Joe Manchin, where he stands? Is it? Do you agree, disagree? What do you think about him telling the truth on all this? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. So Biden says Manchin will be there on Build Back Better vote. So President Biden is in Europe doing his climate change stuff in Scotland and the UK. So he was asked this question point blank. Where does Manchin stand, and will he vote for the Build Back Better vote? You got to take a look at this clip right here.
Yeah, Peter.
Mr. President, you're touting on this visit your $1.75 trillion plan that includes climate, but your party is still not united behind it. Senator Joe Manchin yesterday called it budget gimmicks, shell games, and a recipe for economic crisis. Today he said he never signed off on the framework. So do you have a specific commitment from Senator Manchin to support your Build Back Better bill, yes or no? And how do you respond to those criticisms? And I have a quick follow-up.
Number one, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of my conversations. He will vote for this if we have in this proposal what he has anticipated, and that is looking at the fine print and the detail of what comes out of the House in terms of the actual legislative initiatives. I believe that Joe will be there. With regard to the issue of whether or not he thinks that he's worried about this being inflationary or going to be negative impact on the economy, I think that I've made it clear to Joe, and will continue to, and we will, that as I've apologized for repeating it, Peter, but 17 Nobel laureates on economics said it's going to lower inflation, raise wages, increase competition, create 2 million jobs a year, et cetera. And so I think that I understand that Joe is looking for the precise detail to make sure nothing got slipped in terms of the way in which the legislation got written that is different than he acknowledged he would agree to. But I think we'll get this done.
So what do you think about President Biden's response? Looks like he, as usual, as all the other Democrats are saying, everything is going to get done. Joe Manchin will be on board, but yet Joe Manchin says otherwise. But let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hey, this is Bella. This is tip of the day. So, today, I wanted to tell you one thing that you should know. You have to learn. If you don't learn, then you won't be a better person or grow up or anything. So you have to learn by experiences. That was all I wanted to tell you. Be safe, be good, and I'll see you in the next tip of the day.
Thank you for watching, and I appreciate all of your support. Here's some other clips of the kids. Kids are all good, having fun, playing, taking advantage of this nice, cool weather down in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. It doesn't really get too cold this time of year, which is great, especially since we moved from New York. So really happy with the weather so far, doing outdoor stuff. If you want to check out any of my other videos, you can click up here or down here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.